In the baking mode again today. So I'm going to make food for the gods. In Spanish, I want to translate that as Tarta de los Dioses. Don't ask me why it's called that way, but I'm going to explain to you the ingredients. I have the melted butter here. Then I'm going to put and add some sugar. And then we add some figs, some fresh figs, and dates, and walnuts, and then some eggs. Okay, the first step, I have to mix the butter. It's already melted this way. And I'm going to put 6 eggs. Okay. Remember that when you add the eggs have to be all in room temperature. Never add eggs that are from the fridge, because that will affect the texture of your cake or your pies and your tarts. That's very easy and simple. Okay. Then I'm going to beat these 6 eggs. Can you see that? You have to beat the eggs this way. Maybe you should focus on the eggs. Okay. Then I'm going to add the beaten 6 eggs into the butter mixture. That way. Okay. Then we'll just cream it. The procedure is called creaming because you have to mix the butter with the 6 eggs. And then I'm going to add 3 cups of white sugar. I'm going to lessen it and make it just 2.5 cups. So this is half a cup. I'm going to put 1, 2. That makes it 1 cup. Then another 1, 2, and that will make it 2.5 cups. Okay, so then you cream the butter, the eggs, and the white sugar using your spatula this way. Okay, for the brownies, my recipe is 3, 2, and 1. That means I put 3 cups of sugar, 2 cups of cocoa powder, and 1 cup of flour. But for the food for the gods, I'm gonna use just 2.5 cups of white sugar, and then I'm going to make the measurement of the flour as 1.5 cup flour, because we're going to use all these additional ingredients. And these are the walnuts, the figs, and the dates. Okay, I'm going to add this now before we mix it all together. Okay, for smoother texture, I suggest that as soon as you finish creaming the butter, the sugar, and the eggs, you may start to mix the mixture using your electric mixer so that it's smoother. Okay, we're going to start with slow speed. Make it slow speed for the moment. Increasing the speed slowly to medium speed. And we're going to increase the speed now to a higher speed. Just to make your texture smoother. Now, you have this mixture here. As you can see, it's smoother. Okay, you don't have any lumps from the eggs and the butter, which is really important. Now we're gonna add in slowly. Okay, I'm going to start with the walnuts here. Okay, let's remove these eggshells so you can see. This approximately is around 1.5 cups of cut and chopped walnuts. Okay. This is how it looks. So just fold it. Fold is going on the same direction towards the right. So your spatula will be going on this direction. Look. Okay. Now, then we add the figs. These are dried figs, and I suggest that you use the one from Israel or Spain, because the figs in these countries are really good. In Spain, we call this higo. From the region of Cáceres, that's the border between Portugal and Spain, you can find that the figs there are really, really good. These are dried figs. You can also use fresh figs, but I don't really suggest to use the fresh figs. It's better to use a dry one because it can add to the texture of your food for the gods. Fresh figs are only normally used for salads. Okay? There you go. Make sure that you fold the mixture so that each and every portion of the walnuts and the figs are coated with your batter. B-A-T-T-E-R. Batter is the term used for the mixture. Please don't confuse when you look at your recipe or you follow some ingredients in the internet. Do not confuse butter with the B-A-T-T-R, which is actually your mixture. Then now we add the dates. Okay, this is half a cup of dates. So all together, we add them into the mixture of food for the gods. Okay, just fold it neatly and consistently on the same direction towards your right. Okay, now I'm going to close this sugar container and I'm going to add the flour. I said earlier we're going to use 1.5 cups flour for this mixture. So I have here half a cup. So 3 of this will make 1.5 cups. Okay. Vamos a añadir la harina. Una taza y media de harina. Okay, and all together we fold the same as the first procedure. Now we have the flour inside. So just to repeat and review with you, first we have the butter, then we added the sugar, 2.5 cups of sugar, white sugar. Then we added the walnuts, the figs, and the dates, and then we added 1.5 cups of flour into the mixture. Okay, so you can see that it's very well blended now with your mixture. Okay, so to make it smoother, I'm going to show you now how to mix this using the electric mixer. Okay, you have to make sure that your texture is good, is smooth, and no bubbles, so that when we put it inside the oven, the resulting bar or cookie is going to be moist and smooth. We're going to start with a slow speed this way. Okay. And move it up to medium speed. And increase it to high speed. Just to make sure that you mix it really, really well, and you blend all the dry ingredients with your butter. Alright. Okay. So you have this nice smooth texture over here. Okay. This is now the result, and you can continue to mix again. Make sure that you do it just in one direction. Why? What's the logic behind, doing it and mixing it in just one direction? Because if you mix and do it in different directions, you actually incorporate air into the mixture, and that's not going to give you a good result for the texture of your bar cookie. I don't have any translation in Spanish of a bar. Cookie in Spanish is galleta, but food for the gods cannot be categorized as a tarta or a cake. It's not exactly a cake because it's more like a cookie. Okay, so I have prepared this. I have put butter on this pan, and I'm going to add some flour inside so that it doesn't stick. I hope you're learning something new from me today. It's very simple. You can do it in your free time, and you can even just do it in advance. Store it in the fridge, and you can just eat it whenever you want. No preservatives, all fresh ingredients, and your kids and your family members and your friends will for sure enjoy this. Well, while I'm doing this, while I'm putting some flour on the pan, I'm creating some music on the aluminum pan. Okay, so I'm just going to pour out the excess flour on this pan. Oh. Okay, never mind. Okay, I'm going to move closer to the camera to show you how I will put this in this pan. So maybe we can focus please on this thingy. You can preheat the oven depending on the type of oven that you have. You know, when you are a good baker, or when you bake well, the first thing you have to do is to get to know your oven, because there are oven types that don't have you know, the same heat or the consistent heat on all sides. Again, it depends. I would like to suggest, well, I'm going to preheat the oven to 250 degrees and just bake it perhaps for around 30 minutes, because you don't want to burn your cake and your cookie bars. Okay, so just spread it nice and smooth in your rectangular bar. I did add any baking powder or baking soda for this because you actually don't need to add those leaveners, you know, because this is just going to be smooth and fresh, and you don't need to have it rise on a certain level on the rectangular pan. So you see this, that the color is actually ivory white, and you can see the nice mixture and combination of the walnuts with the figs and the dates. So, okay. Show it here, Jane, closely please. Okay, now we have this food for the gods on the rectangular pan, and I'm going to bake it, and I'm going to show it to you later as soon as it's done from the oven. I have a La Germania oven, by the way. Just a little bit of plugging there, and I'm so happy with the brand that I chose. Okay, till next time. Cheers.